Today we're going to revise for the GCSE Maths 2024 exam. This is the foundation revision, so all topics are related to foundation. Most topics are non-calculator, just one or two questions might be on calculator paper, which I'll mention during the video. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we have expanding and simplifying brackets. 5 times p, which is 5p. 5 times 3 is 15, a positive 15. Be careful, this is a negative, so minus 2 times by 1 is minus 2, and minus 2 times by minus 2p, which is a positive 4p. Let's simplify and collect the like terms. So 5p plus 4p is 9p. 15 take away 2 is 13, which is a positive 13. Question 2, factorize fully. So we need to put them in brackets. So highest common factor of 16 and 4 is, we know, is 4. And p squared, highest common factor is p. 16p divided by 4p is just 4. And 4p squared divided by 4p is just p. A good way to check this answer is by multiplying out the brackets. So 4p times by 4 is 16p. And then 4p times by p is 4p squared. Question 3, 7 over 16 as a decimal. Need to divide 7 by 16. 16 times 0 is 0 because 16 doesn't go into 7. Let's put a decimal on and add a 0 after the 7. 16 goes into 74 times because we know 4 times 16 is 64. That gives us a remainder of 6. Put a 0 down. 16 goes into 60. 3 times, which is 48. 12 remainder. 12 is too small, so let's add a 0 at the end. 16 goes into 120. 7 times, which gives us an answer of 112. And the remainder is 8. Too small, so we put a 0 down. 16 goes into 85 times. 5 times 16 is 80. And that leaves us with no remainder. So the answer is 0.4375. Question 4. Put a pair of brackets in the statement below to make the statement true. A good way to answer this question is by looking at the BIDMAS calculation. Now have a think about, if I divide 16 by 2, that gives me 8. 8 add 6 is 14, add 2 is 16. Too big, but we need to get to an answer of 4. So that doesn't work, so we need to have a check. Let's see, put the brackets here if that works. So 16 divided by 2 plus 6, we need to BIDMAS, do the brackets first. So 2 plus 6 is 8, so 16 divided by 8 plus 2. 16 divided by 8 is 2, and then we've got the plus 2, which is 4, and that works. Question 5. Here are 4 numbers. Write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. Now, because we got all different forms, we've got decimal, fraction, percentage, and another fraction. The best way to do it is probably change them into a decimal, because 0.43 is already in decimal. The percentage can be changed into decimal very easily. So we need to change 3 over 7 into decimal first. So 3 divided by 7. 7 goes into 3 0 times. Put a decimal on. Put the 0 on. 4 times 7 is 28. 2 remainder. Put the 0 down. 7 times 2 is 14. 6 remainder. 2 small, 0 down. 7 times 8 is 56. 4 remainder. Now, I would leave it up to here to 3 decimal places because it's enough to compare the decimals. If you carry on, you can do so, but most likely you're going to just spend your time. Unless the question says find the whole decimals, then you have to. Other than that, 3 decimal places is enough, because we can see here on the percentage we've got 3 decimal places, because to change 43.8 into a decimal we need to divide it by 100, and that gives us an answer of 0.438. And 7 over 16, we changed the fraction to decimal before. So if you look at the answer before. We got 0.4375 and there's a calculation here. So we can change that into decimal 0.4375. So we converted everything into a decimal form, so we can go ahead and write down the order. Before we write down the order, it'd be a good idea to list them all in one place so we can compare them easily. So the first one is 0.43, which is in decimal already. 3/7 we converted to 0.428, 0.428. 43.8%, which is 0.438. And 7/16 is 0.4375. Now let's go ahead and find the smallest one. The units column is all 0. Tenths is all 4. So 100th column we can see this is a 2 and the rest are 3. So this is the smallest one, 0.428, and that's the fraction, which is 3/7. So make sure you write down the original form in your actual answer. Next one, the hundreds column, they're all 3. So the thousands column, this one doesn't have anything here. Here there's nothing here, so there's a 0, and this is an 8, and this is a 7. So the next one is 0.43, which is already in decimal form. A good way to keep track of them is by crossing them out so you don't repeat them. And the last two, we have 7 on the thousands column, which is 7/16. And the final one is 0.438. 0.438, which is 43.8%. That'd be 43.8%. And that's the answer. Question 6, solving equations. Let's do the first one. That'll be x plus x plus x, which is 51. That'll be 3x is equal to 51. So divided by 3 both sides, x is equal to 17. Number 2, y over 4 equals 3. Times by 4 both sides because it's dividing by 4, so do the inverse. Y is equal to 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we have to be 1y, and 4 times 3 is 12. Number 3, 2f plus 7 is equal to 18, so minus 7 from both sides. 2f is equal to 11, divided by 2 both sides, f is equal to 5.5 or 5.5. Question 7, solving inequalities. We have x on both sides. So we're going to minus x from both sides. That'll leave it with 2x plus 5 greater or equal to 17. Minus 5 from both sides. 2x is equal to, well, not equal, greater or equal to 12. Divided by 2 both sides. X is greater or equal to 6. A problem solving question. Trevor buys a boat. The cost of the boat is £14,200 plus VAT at 20%. Trevor pays a deposit of £5,000. He pays the rest of the cost in 10 equal payments. Work out the amount of each of the 10 payments. So we got 14,200 plus the VAT. So work out the total cost of the boat to start off with. So that's, need to work out the 20% of 14,200 and add it on to the 14,200. 14,200, 10% is going to be 1,420. So 20% is going to be double that. So just times it by 2. That would be £2,840. If we add it on to 14,200, 2,840, that gives an answer of 8 plus 2 is 10, 4 plus 2 is 6, add 1 is 7, 17,040 pence. Now Trevor does pay a deposit of £5,000, so we can pay the deposit, 17,440, take away 5,000, which is £12,040, and he pays in 10 equal payments. So each payment will be £12,040 divided by 10 equal payments. That gives us an answer of £1,204 for each payment. And that's the answer. Question 9, another problem solving question. ABC is an isosceles right angle triangle. And we've got the triangle, both sides, the height is 3x centimeters and the base is 3x. The area of the triangle is 162 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x. Now we can see the keyword is area, so we can work out what the area is in terms of x. So we know area of triangle is half times base times height. So we can form an equation. So half times base is 3x and the height is 3x, and we know the area is equal to 162 centimeters squared. So we go half times, let's solve this bit first. 3x times by 3x is 9x squared, which is 162. Now this can be a bit tricky, so first of all we can just divide it by 9 both sides. You can times it by 2 both sides if you want. I'm going to find it easier just by dividing by 9 both sides. So that gives us an answer of half x squared is equal to 18, because 162 divided by 9 is 18. You can do a quick calculation here if you want. 162 divided by 9. 9 goes into 1 0 times, 9 goes into 16 once, which is 9. 7 remainder. 9 goes into 72 8 times, no remainder, so it is 18. Next I can times it by 2 both sides because I've got the half here. So x squared is equal to 36, and then square root both sides. X is equal to 6. That can be a positive and negative as 6. Now because it's lengths of a triangle, base and height of a triangle, we can only choose x is equal to 6. So we find the value of s. So pi squared, b is 10 squared, and a is 8 squared. On a substitution question, always remember to substitute the numbers because that could be worth 1 mark. You can type this all in a calculator paper, or you can work it out separately. If it's a non-calculator, obviously we'll do it step by step. That'd be 100 10 squared minus 64 8 squared. Pi squared times by 36. So that will give us 36 pi squared. In terms of pi, I want to work out the calculator answer, then that will give you an answer of 355.3057. Now because we have to round it to 3 significant figures, so let's go and round it. 1 2 3. Look at the number after the third number figure. It's a 3, so we leave it as 355, and that's the answer. Question 11. Last year Jo paid £245 for her car insurance. This year she has to pay £883 for her car insurance. Work out the percentage increase in the cost of her car insurance. Quite a bit of an increase, isn't it? So this seems like a calculator question. So we need to find the difference on the increase. So we have to do 883 take away 245, £638. Now to the formula to work out the percentage increase is divide the change, which is 638, by the original amount, which was £245, and times that by 100. And if you type this in your calculator, that'll give you an answer of 260.4%. Question 12, work out 34% of 150. Again, this could be a calculated question, and also it can be a non-calculated question as well. So we can work out 10%, which is divided by 10, 150 divided by 10, which is 15. 30% will be, so we have to times it by 3, so times 15 by 3, gives us 45. Now we need to work out 4 more percent of 150, so 1% is divide 150 by 100, which gives me 1.5. So 4% will be times by 4, and 1.5 times by 4 is 6. So we got 30%, which is 145, just 45, and 4% is 6. So we can add them together. 34% will be 45 plus 6, which is 51. Question 13 is a transformation question. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle C onto D. So going from triangle C onto D. The orientation is the same, so it suggests it's most likely translation, and also the size is the same, so it's not enlargement. So you can write down translation, that's the keyword, by vector. So I need to find out what the column vector is. So let's pick this point, and this is the corresponding point. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So write 4, and then 1, 2, up, positive 2. So both positive, going right and up. Question 14. So we have find the highest common factor of 168 and 80. Let's find the product of prime factors. So 168, which is 2 times 84. Circle the prime numbers. 2 times 42, circle the prime numbers again. 2 times 21, circle the prime numbers. Be careful, 21 is not a prime number because 3 times 7 is 21. And then just the product of prime factor 180. 2 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 15, and then 3 times 5. So for 168, product of prime factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. For 180, it is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So a good way to do it is using Venn diagrams. Let's draw true circles. The circle is for 168, this is for 180. So we're going to write down the common ones. There's one lot of 3 common. Okay, so that will go in the middle, the Venn diagram. 2, 2, and 3. Anything remaining, 2 and 7 for 168 will go on the 168 side, so it'll be 2 and 7. And then 3 and 5 will go inside the 180 circle, 3 and 5. Now to find the highest common factor, need to multiply, be 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So the highest common factor is 12. Question 15, an angle question. ABC is a straight line, which is this one here. BD equals CD. So this line and this side is same. Angle ABD is 110 degrees. Show that angle BDC is 40. So angle BDC. So this angle here, we need to show this is 40. Give a reason for each stage of your working. So we know ABC is a straight line. So if it's a straight line, we can work out what this angle is. One side is 110, so this side is going to be 180 minus 110, because angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. That gives us 70 degrees. So this is 70. And the reason, best way to do it is just write the reason straight away so you don't forget to write the reason. So angles on a straight line equals to 180 degrees. Now because BD and CD are same, it's an isosceles triangle, so angle BCD is going to be 70 degrees as well. So angle BCD is equal to 70 degrees, and the reason is the base angles on an isosceles triangle are same. Okay, and then finally add the two base angles, which is 70 plus 70, which is 140, and then angles in a triangle equals to 180 degrees. Take away the 140 to both base angles, and that leaves us with 40 degrees. So one last reason you can write down angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees equals 180 degrees. So angle BDC equals 40 degrees. Write 168 as a product of its prime factors. You must show your working. I had a similar question before that, so I'm just going to repeat that question just in case you didn't understand it. So it'll be 2 times by 84 is 168. Circle the prime numbers. 2 times by 42, just halving the numbers. Circle the prime number. 2 times by 21. 3 times by 7. Need to write as a product of prime factor. We've got the prime factors, all the ones that I circled. So it'll be 2 times by 2 times by 2 times by 3 times by 7. You can write it as a power. Sometimes the question will say write as a power of product of prime factors. So we got 3 lots of them, so 2 cubed times by 3 times by 7. Question 17. Here are the first 4 terms of an arithmetic sequence. Write down an expression in terms of n, the n term of the sequence. Now when you find n term, find the difference in the sequence. So it's going up by 6 plus 6 plus 6. So first part of the answer is 6n. Now to find the second part of the answer, we can go the opposite way. So if you go the opposite way, because it's plus 6, the other number is going to be 5 minus 6, which gives us minus 1. And this minus 1 will go on the second part of the answer, which is 6n minus 1. And that's the n term. A good way to check the answer is by substituting a term number into the n term. So let's go ahead and substitute 3, the third term. So 6 times 3 minus 1, which is 18 minus 1, which is 17. So the third term is 17 on the actual sequence. So that shows that our answer is correct. That was the last question. I hope it helped you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and all the best with your exam, and I will see you in the next video with the calculator paper revision. Mr. Mahmood, helping you do better in maths.